This is it right here. If you want to see school choice in the state of Kansas and you want to pressure lawmakers in Topeka, really it's mostly the governor's office because I think it would get through the legislature to have more school choice in the state of Kansas. You play this package from Fox 4 right here in Kansas City last night because a group of parents are now speaking out as they are concerned about fights that they say have gotten out of control at Washington High School in KCK. And these are parents speaking out, largely minority parents speaking out, saying the fights are getting out of control, and frankly, no one's doing anything about it. And they want other options. I don't know if you're someone who is like, oh man, we can't have school choice. No. See, right now, school choice exists. School choice exists if you have the money to put your kids into a private school or you have the ability to have a parent home to homeschool. Most working class, middle class families can't do that, especially in this economy right now. But they also are forced to go to a public school based on their zip code, based on where they live. So there is school choice if you have money. And that's why it's funny to hear politicians who are against school choice say, oh, no, we got to invest in our public schools. Well, now you're hearing from parents in working class minority parts of Kansas who are saying this is not working. We want more options. And if I was the Kansas GOP and I wanted to see school choice as a thing, I would share this package, put it on Governor Kelly's desk, and have them listen to this from Fox 4 last night.
I spoke with one mother, Rocio Dominguez, who says she's had enough, and it's time she speaks up so that someone within this school district starts taking this problem seriously.
It's very frustrating because she should have the same access to school as others without having to feel unsafe.
Rocio Dominguez says she's tired of hearing the same story. In her words, excuses from Washington High School about why there were so many fights.
Nobody knows how we as parents feel after our kids encounter these types of situations.
Dominguez says she expects a safe environment for her students, but so far she feels the district has dropped the ball. She pulled one of her students out of the school last year due to safety concerns, and she says she's on the verge of pulling the other out. Dominguez tells Fox 4 a friend of her daughter's was in a fight Tuesday with injuries so bad that student had to be taken to the hospital. Working for you, we asked KCKPS about it. While they wouldn't confirm the hospital visit, they did acknowledge a fight this week left one student with injuries.
That's from Fox 4. The fights are getting so bad that people are trying to figure out how to get out of the school district. And Rocio Dominguez is saying, I want access to schools just like others, and my kids deserve to feel safe. And I deserve to be able to put my kids in a school where they feel safe. And she can't do it. That's what she's at least insinuating there. Her kids are being forced to go to these schools because they have to. How would the governor's office, who insists that, public school and going to school based simply on your zip code, and by the way, let's not forget, Governor Kelly, who's a guest on this show on occasion, she's been on twice in the last few weeks, which we appreciate, is someone who did send her kids to a private school. But how you can square that by saying, no, when it comes to other kids, you've got to go where your zip code tells you have to go and where the politicians want you and the bureaucrats want you to go, and we've got to dump more money into that system. Instead of what you're actually hearing from parents in more diverse parts of the state of Kansas, like, where Washington High School is in KCK, right there on Leavenworth Road. You have parents saying the fights are out of control. I want my kids out. But guess what? I can't pony up the dough to send them to a private school. This is exactly what the issue of school choice is about. It's not about defunding public schools. Because if public schools are competitively right in line with private schools and they're the best option for children and for families, then they would theoretically put that money, their share of their taxpayer dollars, right back into their public schools. Here's the fear from the monopoly that is the public school system. They realize that if given the option, parents wouldn't choose them. They are afraid of competition. And by the way, I say this as someone who went to public school K through 12. I'm a public school kid. I had never stepped foot K through 12 in a private school. But it still doesn't mean that parents can't have and shouldn't be allowed to have the options. They should. And now, as you hear more of this coming from disadvantaged parts of the state of Kansas, or anywhere for that matter, this could be any major American city. But here locally, as you see more of this and hear more of this from some of the disadvantaged parts of Kansas, I don't know how you can have, the woke white ladies in Johnson County saying public schools are the only way. Because that's what it is. The largest defenders of the public school monopoly are representatives who are right here in the Blue Valley School District, which it's great that they've got awesome schools in Blue Valley, and good for them. They do. They're in really nice neighborhoods, in great zip codes, some of the best zip codes in the entire state, if not the best zip codes in the entire state. Good for you. That's fantastic. But that's not the case in places like KCK. And those parents don't have the opportunities and don't have the means to, if they want to take their kids out of Washington High School because the fights are completely out of control, they can't do it necessarily. They don't have the means to have a parent stay home and homeschool. They don't have the means to take out $5,000 to $10,000, and that's being, generous on the low end, to send their kids to a private school every year. They can't do that. They are stuck with these schools, and they're not working for their kids, and they're not working for their families. And I don't know how you can hear that package from a mother, Rocio Dominguez in KCK, who says, my kids don't feel safe. One of their kids' friends just got beaten into a pulp and got sent to the hospital. And you're saying, nah, you better keep going there. You have to keep going there. You have no choice. When do we start putting students before systems? Because right now, those who say these kids are stuck where they're at, they're putting the system, they're putting the cabal, they're putting the monopoly that is the public education sector unions before the students. And you're going to walk into that mother's home and tell her that she can't have choice, that many people of more means have? Telling me that's equity? That's inclusion? Please. I don't care one bit about that stuff. It's about protecting the status quo.